What's up guys, it's Tommy here and welcome to a brand new latest Liverpool transfer news video, and today's topic will be Aurelien Tchouameni, the midfield maestro who Liverpool tried desperately to sign last summer, but in the end he went to Real Madrid. But now that Real Madrid signed Jude Bellingham for almost £100 million, and they are also looking to sign Kylian Mbappe for around 180 million pounds, many journalists including Francois Plateau is reporting that Real Madrid are looking to offload the midfielder this summer. He says, "I'm fairly sure Liverpool will be in the mix for either Tchouameni or Federico Valverde. And I'm not sure, I think we would prefer to sign Tchouameni at the moment because Valverde is more of an attacking midfielder or a box-to-box midfielder. Tchouameni mainly plays as a defensive midfielder, a deep-lying playmaker, and I think that's the kind of profile of a player that Liverpool really need. Of course, Valverde would be a pretty amazing signing as well, but he would cost a lot of money, and Liverpool already spent £60 million on Szoboszlai, £35 million on McAllister. We don't really need another attacking midfielder in the squad unless we sell a bunch of players, but still, even then we won't be able to have money for Tchouameni and Valverde combined. Tchouameni for like 80 million or 70 million pounds would be a lot of money, but this is a guy who is entering his prime years, 24 years old, and he would solve the defensive midfield issue or the defensive midfield for 5 to 10 years at Liverpool. And that's absolutely amazing. That's why Liverpool pulled the trigger on the Szoboszlai transfer, even though we had to pay £60 million in one go to pay his release clause. Szoboszlai solves the attacking midfield spot, at least on the right side, but he can even play on the left side for the next 8 to 10 years, because Szoboszlai can be a regular starter for Liverpool for the next 8 to 10 years. And of course, the journalist is saying it would obviously be a very big fee for either one of those players, but Liverpool greatly appreciates both of them. And Liverpool, according to many sources, Liverpool have already been in contact with Tchouameni's representatives. We already talked to them last summer, so they know how much Liverpool appreciate Tchouameni. And Liverpool asked to receive updates on his current situation, and this has been ongoing in the past 2 months. So at the moment, the biggest news is that if Real Madrid decide to sell one of their midfielders, and I think they have to if they want to sign Mbappe. And by the way, the dominoes are falling in the transfer window. Mbappe has been given pretty much an ultimatum by the PSG president that he has to go. If he doesn't sign a new contract, he has to leave Real Madrid, and he has to do it in a matter of weeks. He got basically a deadline, so Mbappe has to decide his future until July, the end of July, because Paris Saint-Germain either want to sell him or they want to sign him to sign a new contract. And this is Mbappe's own making, and Paris Saint-Germain's own making, basically, because Paris Saint-Germain, if they accepted £200 million or 200 million euros for Mbappe last summer, when he only had 1 year left on his contract, Real Madrid in the end decided to bid that crazy amount even, because they knew what an amazing player Mbappe is. So now they are still interested in Mbappe. Paris Saint-Germain turned that ludicrous offer down, and they won't turn another offer like that down, because they know Mbappe wants to leave Paris Saint-Germain. That's not a well-managed club, PSG. They have no hope in winning the Champions League with the way that they are recruiting, the way that they are signing players. I mean, they tried to get the best. They had the best strike force in the world in Messi, Mbappe and Neymar, and they were nowhere near winning the Champions League. They went out at the earliest stage after qualifying from the group stages. Tchouameni, on the other hand, could be on the way out of Real Madrid, because for Real Madrid to sign Bellingham and Mbappe in one transfer window, that would be absolutely amazing. But they also need to sell some players, because even Real Madrid don't have like £300 million sitting, or 300 million euros sitting in their bank account. Tchouameni is only 23 years old, so as I said, he's entering the prime of his career. He's 188 centimeters tall. He's exactly the kind of defensive midfielder that Liverpool need, and he's already a full-fledged France international, playing 25 games for the France national team. He played 50 games last season for Real Madrid, which is an absolutely crazy amount. Getting 4 assists, he didn't score a goal, but that's not his main job. He's basically 45 of those 50 games he played as a defensive midfielder, and that's what Liverpool are looking for. And Real Madrid won the Spanish Cup, but they didn't win the Champions League, didn't win the league, so they didn't really have a particularly successful season, but they also won the Club World Cup, so winning 2 trophies is not too bad. And it looks like Ancelotti will leave Real Madrid at the end of next season. The Brazil national team announced that Ancelotti is going to manage the Brazil national team at the 2024 Copa America. And the El Nacional newspaper is already reporting that Liverpool are ready to offer 55 million euros for Tchouameni, but Real Madrid want at least 80 million euros for him. They got him for 100 million euros last summer. But Liverpool are not the only club to be interested in signing Tchouameni. Chelsea, Man United have been linked with Tchouameni as well. But Chelsea, of course, still need to sell some players if they want to sign some big midfielders. And Chelsea are after Moises Caicedo. And Man United, I think, after signing Mason Mount, I'm not sure if they will sign another big midfielder. One of the reasons why Tchouameni might leave Real Madrid is that even though he played 50 games, a lot of those games wasn't as a starter. He came off the bench a lot of time. He couldn't really get ahead of Modric, Kroos, Valverde and Camavinga. But now that Bellingham is there, he has even more competition for places. But one thing that, of course, Tchouameni knows is that Modric and Toni Kroos, they might have 1, maybe 2 seasons maximum at Real Madrid, and then, of course, it will be Valverde, Camavinga and Bellingham and potentially Tchouameni. But if the Real Madrid decide to sell one of those players, the most likely probably is Tchouameni. Camavinga was very integral, Valverde as well was very integral to Real Madrid, and I mean Toni Kroos and Modric already, I think, signed new contracts at Real Madrid. But of course, Tchouameni's dream was Real Madrid. When he heard of Real Madrid's interest, he told his agent to do everything to get me there. That's what Tchouameni told his agent. And I can understand, Tchouameni is not a Liverpool fan. He wasn't a Liverpool fan growing up. Real Madrid are sadly a bigger club than Liverpool at this moment, so it's more attractive. But if Real Madrid decide to sell Tchouameni, then Liverpool have to be first in line to try and get him. And according to Spanish newspapers, Real Madrid will have to sell either Valverde or Tchouameni and get maybe 70, 80 to 100 million euros for either of them. And because they want to make a very big investment in Kylian Mbappe, they really are desperate to sign Mbappe, so they will try to do everything in their power to make that happen. And if that means selling one of their great midfielders, then so be it. Real Madrid will sacrifice that midfielder for the signing of Mbappe. Ben Jacobs also updated us on Thiago's situation. So he said that Thiago is not necessarily lured at this point by Saudi Arabia, but it is accurate to say that he's on Saudi's list of so-called elite targets. Thiago falls into the category of the right age, the right profile, fantastic footballer, and because he has been at Liverpool and played also for Barcelona, Bayern Munich, he has the following. The approach was not made to Liverpool, it was made to Thiago's camp. Liverpool are not aware of any offers at this point. Seemingly the player wasn't that sold, which may suggest that he either wants to listen to other offers or stay at Liverpool. I think what we can say is that should the right offer come in formally, it will at least be considered by Liverpool. But from the player's point of view, he has already had a lucrative offer and at this point he has rejected it. The interest is serious. Saudi Arabia doesn't really take no for an answer, but the first answer from Thiago's camp has been a no. He's planning for pre-season with Liverpool for now. Until they get a concrete offer, they will be treating him as a Liverpool player. I think we must say, as Liverpool fans know, Liverpool will be happy to listen to offers which are common knowledge, but as with Firmino, Liverpool have no problem valuing and using him for the upcoming season and then letting Thiago leave on a free transfer. This is a little bit different. It shows you that Liverpool feel they have got their value and also Liverpool feels fine financially. Even if it is a healthy transfer fee offered for Thiago, Liverpool are quite prepared to get the value out of the player if they need to, and then keep him until 2024. That is why Liverpool are calm about the situation. At the moment, he's a Liverpool player, and we will wait and see if Saudi Arabia persists with their interest in him. So I think that's very interesting. Liverpool know what they got with Thiago. They know that he's a fantastic player, and they need a very, very high offer on the table for them to even consider selling Thiago. So, and I think that's a good strategy to have. And Fabrizio Romano updated us on Romeo Lavia situation. Liverpool are still interested in Lavia. There is no official bid at this time. To attack the market again for a midfielder, for another midfielder, it is important to sell some players by Liverpool. Sales do not necessarily need to be in the midfield, so we would maybe try to sell either Tsimikas or Matip or Joe Gomez or even one of our old midfielders. Melissa Reddy has reported Liverpool's stance is there would need to be outgoings in midfield first. Thiago is attracting widespread interest before they can sign another midfielder. Liverpool's ideal is if circumstances align, a signing could happen even without exits, which means that if Southampton drop their price a little bit for Lavia, then we could make that signing, because Lavia is not a non-homegrown Lavia is a homegrown player, so he wouldn't take up a non-homegrown player slot. But Fabrizio Romano explained how Liverpool could sign Lavia even for less than what Southampton's reported asking price is, which is £50 million. So for a 19-year-old who had one senior season in professional football is a lot of money. And Fabrizio Romano said for Romeo Lavia the price tag is around £50 million, but sources believe that maybe with some add-ons or with a creative formula such as including some players, Liverpool can find a way with Southampton to reach an agreement, which means that if we send Nat Phillips on the other way, or if we send Ben Doak on loan to Southampton, then they would be more willing to do a deal with Liverpool. And speaking on his podcast, Fabrizio Romano said that at the moment the Khéphren Thuram situation at Liverpool is cold because he is considered a little bit too expensive. Maybe Nice asked for 55 million pounds, not just with Nice but also on the salary side. Khéphren Thuram wanted a big salary, so at the moment it's a complicated one, but the player has always been appreciated by Liverpool. Steve Nicol, former Liverpool defender who is working as a pundit for ESPN, has said something very interesting about Darwin Núñez. He said you can look at the Darwin Núñez this season both ways. For £80 million you want a finished article, but at the same time have a look around the Premier League. The money people are spending on players is crazy, and maybe they don't even have that potential that Darwin Núñez had. The guy has had one season. Straight away, you just said, is he a bust already? This guy has never been given a chance by anybody, including some other pundits. Hold on a second, let's get this right. When he signed, did anybody at Liverpool tell us that this guy is the present, this guy is going to start now? The transfer fee doesn't always tell you that. The guy was brought in as the future, yet after 4 months, everybody was attacking Darwin Núñez. After just 4 months. He's still a young player, he's not the finished article, he's a work in progress. And yet he still scored 15 goals for Liverpool and got some assists. And with the amount of chances that he missed, imagine if he clicks. He could easily score 30-35 goals just like Mo Salah. He has had one season. Could it have been better? Probably. He certainly showed potential, but he certainly shows what he's capable of, and he has more in his locker. I mean, he got as much XG almost as Erling Haaland. So if his finishing improves just a little bit, he could easily get 20-25 goals next season. We haven't even kicked the season off, and some people are asking, is Darwin Núñez a bust already? Seriously, he has no chance, this Steve Nicol said, according to the pundits. Unless he scores a hat-trick every game, then in some pundits' eyes, he's a bust already. And I think with Szoboszlai and McAllister behind the strikers, Liverpool will score a lot more goals than last season. My main worry is, will Liverpool be as easy to go through in midfield as they were last season? With McAllister and Szoboszlai, we already have more legs, more dynamism, more physicality, more work rate than last season, but we still need a number 6, a defensive midfielder, either Lavia or Tchouameni or somebody else who is capable of playing that role. it's fine by me. I just want somebody to stop the counterattacks and. Also, it has been reported in The Athletic that Trent Alexander-Arnold is cutting his holidays short and starting preseason early. He already begins preseason on Tuesday, and he has been in an intense training camp which has focused on speed and endurance, including hiking and also 30-mile bike rides. He has been on an individual training program which represents a departure from previous summers for Alexander-Arnold, who recognizes he's embarking on a very important season for Liverpool and for England. He got quite a lot of criticism, Trent Alexander-Arnold, last season, and rightfully so. Especially in the first half of the season, he was way below his standards, and I think he himself admits that. But the last few months, Trent Alexander-Arnold has been terrific in his new role. And he did extra work at Liverpool's training ground in an effort to overcome the first bump in his amazing career. And that determination to own this slump in his career and to take ownership of his strength and conditioning has continued with the visit to Portland, where he has been on an individual training program, and one of the Liverpool sponsors have a base. The competition for places in Liverpool's midfield will be fierce. And I still think Liverpool mainly will play Trent in defense, but he can slot into midfield when we are on the attack. And Jordan Henderson has cut his holidays back 1 week to prepare for a new campaign, because this summer Henderson is working abroad with Matt Konopinski, the co-founder and head of physiotherapy and performance at Rehab for Performance in Liverpool. And this guy Konopinski used to work for Liverpool, the FA and Rangers in Scotland. So Henderson has also been putting in a lot of work to try and get into the best shape possible. So I'm really looking forward to these guys hitting the ground running. That's what Liverpool need. We really need to be very, very sharp from the first day, because remember last season we started very, very slow and we had the worst first 6 months of a season for a long time, and that cannot be repeated. Liverpool need to get a lot of wins very early, because Man City have the easiest run possible, so Liverpool need to have as many points as early as possible to keep pace with Man City. We should be aiming for winning the title. That's what Liverpool's aim should be. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this. Have a nice day. See you later. Goodbye.